Well, hello, lovely people. Welcome to today's pick a card reading. We will be doing a reading about the month of September and what lies ahead, any messages, any advice that wants to come through. So, as you can see, there are three piles to choose from with two oracle cards I have pre-picked. So, pick the pile that you feel the most drawn to and let's see what messages will come up for you for September. Hello, pile 1. This is your part of the reading if you chose the North card as well as the Have Faith in Your Dreams, which was hidden underneath it. So let's start with the put shortly what your reading is speaking about coming for you in the month of September, and of course maybe also developing after the month of September. Such changes of course don't take normally a month, they take longer than that. But what is starting for you in this month of September, or what will maybe like gain momentum in this time, is that you have been in some kind of let's say wintry, cold energy, barren energy, where you have felt somehow either unlucky maybe, or if not unlucky, then just unsatisfied with something in your life and looking for a way to change it. And this reading acts as a reminder to you and as a confirmation, as like push ahead or what have you, that you absolutely have to continue working on these dreams that you have in your heart. And this is the time when things will start to clear out and pick up slowly. Again, I will not necessarily put a time frame on this, because although it is messages for September, this doesn't mean that the whole cycle will be completed within the 30 days or the 31 days. It's just that this is something significant for you for this month. Now, regarding the Have Faith in Your Dreams card, I'm gonna read to you the whole message from the booklet at the end. But let's get into the tarot cards as well as the Shaman Wisdom card. So the Shaman Wisdom card firstly, maybe with the North direction. Directional cards in this deck are quite important, so to say. They're like, let's say they're like kind of the major arcana of the Oracle deck. So they point to some kind of profound change. And because you also got 3 out of 5 cards from the tarot, which are also major arcana, I would say that this will be a big turning point for you, like a huge change of direction in your life. And the idea of the North card is just that it represents the winter season in our lives, and it is the season where you are a little bit slower, everything's a little bit colder, like everything's nature's asleep, the animals are asleep. It's kind of a dead period a little bit, and it is dark, it is the period of darkness. But you can harbor that time for building something from within, for building your dreams, for, you know how when it's dark we close our eyes, we dream of something that will happen, let's say tomorrow or whatever. This is the type of energy that this card brings. There is knowledge and strength to be found in this dark period, and when you go through it, you will discover some kind of truths that will then lead you to change. Whether this change is in your life in general, in your perspective, in your work life, in your love life, it doesn't matter. Here it seems that it will be some kind of profound change, and I would generally say it will be, let's say, temperamental change, or maybe not temperamental for you, but like character change, not just change within a given life arena. It will be an all-encompassing change that will slowly creep into all the different crevices of your life. Now, how exactly this is going to happen based on the tarot. So you have a couple of, let's say, challenging cards, in the meaning of course, if you are going through profound change, it is gonna come through challenge. It's not gonna come through, I am so happy and satisfied, everything's great, let me put it on its head and change everything, you know? So firstly, you got the reversed Temperance, which is a card speaking of like some kind of imbalance in your life. It could be like excess of everything, excess of drinking, excess of spending, excess of negativism, excess of positivism. It doesn't have necessarily a direction, but the idea is that something that is in excess and that you know is in excess in your life needs to be realigned to get the wheels turning. And speaking of the wheels turning, you also got the Wheel of Fortune card in reversed, which can signify that you have had some kind of period where you have felt you had bad luck. But also there could be just an overall message of you resisting what fate, what the universe, what your life has brought you, resisting some kind of change, because with the wheel sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. This is just how it spins, and there isn't necessarily anything you can do about it. No matter how disciplined you are, no matter how hard you try, sometimes life is gonna knock you down. And this is just something you have to deal with once it happens. So maybe there is this resistance within you to that aspect of life, and maybe just an overall like resistance to change, because again, like your spread talks about some kind of profound change, and maybe this change is scary for you right now. So there will be some kind of breaking some kind of old cycle, some kind of old pattern or way of looking at things. And once that resistance stops, and of course, like we mentioned also with the realignment card, or with the realignment aspect of the Temperance card, things will start to go in the right direction. Now, the other thing that happens here, actually two things. We have the Moon card, which again, I would say doubles this message of like some kind of fear and anxiety surrounding you at this time. And it could be kind of subconscious, like you might not necessarily have in the forefront of your mind why this situation and this change is worrying you. You just might have a feeling of unease that you can't put a concrete word to necessarily. I would say that this will probably come to the surface once you start working at it, once you start tackling the other issues. Slowly by slowly, you'll probably get an idea of what exactly in this change is worrying you. But also with the Moon card, an advice here is that you can take some time, again, spend some time in the night, in the nighttime, in the dark of your soul, to find your intuition and to let it speak to you. Like I watched, I don't know if it was a podcast. I think it was a podcast with some interviewer guy and Dr. K, if you know him from Healthy Gamer GG. And they were speaking about something this reminds me of, and it was the idea that we have so much input from our surroundings, from the people in our life, from social media, from what have you, that we kind of forget what we wanted in the first place. So let's say you see a lot of people on social media going to this destination, traveling or working this and this, and all of a sudden you get this idea that you have to do it as well because it is kind of an expectation, or maybe because it looks fancy, but this is not something that is necessarily real to you. It's not necessarily something that comes from a true place from within. And the more you get such information relayed to you, the more you lose the connection with your inner voice. So this is also something that you might be experiencing. If it sounds interesting to you, like Dr. K has a lot of videos of this idea basically explained in different ways. Good. So definitely spend some time working with your inner thoughts and your intuition. Let it guide you, and maybe take some time off from looking for ideas from the outside. Also, tarot readings potentially. I know I do that as well. It is what it is. We will learn sooner or later. Good, yes. And with the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Cups can bring the energy of some kind of disappointment from something, maybe abandoning something in the past. Like you can see how she is walking away from the cup and going to the sunset. So there might be, again, the message here that you need to let something go, something that didn't work out, or something that you don't even necessarily care about working out. It might be again something that you just got the impulse from outside and it's not something that matters to you. So walking away can be one of the steps in this direction. And I would say also, again, this is a time for you to explore what will bring you true happiness. I don't know if a part of this situation might also have to do with self-esteem, because we also have the Six of Cups card here, which on the one hand can represent that sooner or later this success in this endeavor will come to you and you will feel rewarded for it. You also might receive public recognition if this applies to your situation. But at the bare minimum, speaking of our inside world, this is a confidence card. So once you start tackling those issues, this confidence of yours will start to grow. Like you will basically build rapport with yourself and you will start trusting yourself more. And once you start trusting yourself more, you have the energy, you have more energy to put into your life. You are less like fearful, there is less anxiety. All of those things, tend to be connected. So this is generally what I'm seeing as an idea of what's coming for you starting from the month of September. Maybe, yes, like I said, as a last message, with the Have Faith in Your Dreams card, I'll read to you the whole thing. That's what I like to do with this booklet, because the messages are always really nicely written. So, with the Have Faith in Your Dreams, don't give up. The situation you are asking about is still taking shape. You are nowhere near the end of the story. Oh, exactly. This is something that maybe I didn't mention at the start, because we have the waxing moon. It is still the moon of something starting to build. Like it's not completely there. It's not like the full moon where it is already taken all the momentum and it is about to pop off. Like you are very much on this road, like we said, with all of the profound change cards with the major arcana. This is something that might take a while, but it is something that will be all-encompassing. Like it will seep through everything, even if you don't see it immediately. Okay. Whatever is happening now is just a step along the way. As they say in the self-help classics, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Oh, that's a really nice message. However, the waxing crescent moon card is a reminder that you must still keep working towards whatever it is that you want. If you can't take practical steps, spend time meditating on the question you are asking about and allow your higher self to download information to you about your best next step. Overall, this card suggests there is every reason to be hopeful for a very positive outcome to the situation you are asking about. So keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Some Bon Jovi for you. The message of attunement to the moon is I am focused on what I want. And some additional meanings for this card. Just because you can't see your dreams, it doesn't mean they're not manifesting. Don't look back, stay focused on moving forwards. Yes, don't take look back at the cup behind you, move. Be patient as events unfold and dig a little deeper to find more courage. Oh, courage. Yes, this is also very much a quality of the Six of Wands card. So pile one, I definitely think that this is the first thing, the first sign of success that will come to you in this situation. It will be, like we said, the self-confidence aspect improving, and also with that your courage to pursue things becoming greater. Okay, pile one, I think that this is enough for you guys. I hope that this was helpful, and I wish you all the luck and all the strength on this. I am sure that you will be handling it beautifully. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your part of the reading. So let's get into your cards and what September is about to bring. So the thing with you, pile 2, said in one sentence is that I feel like you are stuck in the negative energy of being an earth sign, so to say. Like when I see pentacle energy, like we have here, here, and also here, pentacle energy gives me Capricorn energy, although it is generally earth energy, but it always gives me primarily Capricorn. And especially starting off with the Knight being in the reversed position. So I feel like pile 2, what you are currently struggling with in your life is that you seem to be a little bit too disciplined, or if not too disciplined, you are starting to experience the burnout of trying to be too disciplined and working too hard. And there might be also generally an aspect here of not necessarily doing what you want. We will get into that as well. But like starting off, let's say, chronologically with the cards, the first card you got being the Knight of Pentacles reversed speaks about you feeling bored with where you are at, or you feeling stuck in your situation somehow. And this feeling of being stuck, it can manifest in different directions. For some of you, it might manifest as a streak to be perfectionistic, like you might try to do everything perfectly, which is adding to this feeling of being stuck and never being good enough and never being satisfied with what you are doing. Or it could be the other way around, where you are feeling stuck because you can't really establish a routine for yourself that is working out nicely. Or again, it could be that the routine that you have is so rigid, because earth signs tend to be rigid sometimes, that it is stifling your creativity, your lust for life, like your energy in general. It's this type of energy. And I would say that all of these, you can actually be experiencing all of these energies at the same time. This is something that happens to me, for instance. On some days, you try to keep up a really strict routine because, for instance, you have been slacking off. This then burns you out further. Then it forces you into a forced break, let's say, in the meaning of one day I am giving 110%, and then I have blown a fuse and I'm giving 10%, and then I feel guilty, so I'm trying to give 110% again. And in whichever way this plays out for you exactly, the idea here is that there is some kind of unfulfillment in you, some kind of, like I said, boredom, feeling of stuckness, like overall unhappiness, unsatisfaction. And the only fire card, the only energy card, let's say, that you got is the reversed Ace of Wands. And the reversed Ace of Wands again speaks about some kind of lack of energy and motivation, like your routine, your work, your expectations of yourself, or maybe other people's expectations of yourself also. are acting stifling and weighing you down. Now, again, I would venture on to say that there is here also the energy of some kind of clear direction lacking, because we tend to get super attached to our material aspect, to our routine, to us doing something in the best way possible when we somehow feel unsure of ourselves. So I strongly feel with your pile that there is some kind of outside, what's it called? Some kind of outside obligation, let's say, you are trying to fulfill. Like there is something here that's forcing you in this energy, and I don't know if it's necessarily the expectation of somebody else or your expectation, but if you feel like it's your expectation, I would say that probably if you peel back a layer behind it, it will stay the expectation of somebody else. With the Five of Pentacles, in your case, I would say that this feels like a lack mindset and a worry mindset. It could potentially speak about you having gone through some kind of financial loss or something, but like the other cards are not necessarily speaking of this. But if you have, maybe you had some kind of setback, and this is where now all of a sudden this scarcity mindset and this hyper fixation on working or achieving something or sticking to a plan and being perfect comes from. It could be, like I said. With the Five of Pentacles, a potential solution is always to look around, basically drag your nose out of your own ass and look around, and you will be presented with some kind of solution. You can see what the card displays. She is all desperate, cold, hungry, out in the dirt, but there is a huge ass door standing in front of her, and the key is, like I said, right in front of her. If you just pull your nose out of your ass, you might see a way out of this as well. And if not, then at least you can look to the people around you to be some kind of help. There is an energy here of being proactive, communicating and asking for help. You also got the turquoise card from the Oracle deck, from the Shaman Oracle deck, which has to do with the throat chakra and the idea that you have to communicate at this point, to relay information, to potentially receive back information, and this will help you clarify what you need to do moving forward. Following with the Four of Pentacles also, this is again a card of having a fear and scarcity mindset, like the lady is clutching not her pearls but her purse with all of her strength. And she is kind of like separated. You can see the city standing back kilometers, let's say, from her. She is standing alone. I feel like part of your issue here is also that you're standing alone and not communicating with other people. And this will be definitely at least a part of your solution. And getting to the last card from the tarot that came up for you, the Ten of Cups. Again, there is the message here of spending time with people. Like Cups energy speaks often about relationships, and like this card in general can signify like finally coming into harmony, into alignment, enjoying your time. But Cups energy also speak often about us needing to come to some kind of realization where we stand and where other people stand. Like water energy can oftentimes point us, like I said earlier in the reading, that there is some kind of disconnect between what we want and what other people expect from us. And you are here definitely asked to follow what your internal guidance is giving you. This is also something that I kind of spoke about in Pile 1. I feel like it's not such a strong message necessarily for you guys, but if it is interesting for you, like Dr. K from Healthy Gamer GD has a lot of interesting videos and on like the topic of generally motivation, getting unstuck and so on and so on. The last video I watched from him, he was speaking about the idea that we are so bombarded with information from other people, from social media, from life around us, that we become disconnected from knowing what we want for ourselves from the inside. Like we get the information handed to us, so we start to think that we need this car or this trip or this boyfriend or whatever, but this is not something that comes from within, and because it doesn't come from within, we are not truly motivated or disciplined or interested in getting it. But that doesn't stop it from coming with its set of anxieties and worries if we're not striving towards it. If this is a mindset that you're finding yourself in, definitely his videos are super helpful and interesting. I feel like, again, similar to pile 1, but theirs was maybe a little bit more drastic. I feel like that the key for you here would definitely be, again, spending some time to talk to yourself and find in a vacuum what you want. And also, once you find that thing that you want, information exchange will help you. Or even before you find it, like somehow communicating with other people, maybe also communicating with yourself. Like you can sit down in front of a mirror and speak to yourself. This can also help in getting clarity. So sort of like role playing with yourself that you're another person and going back and forth also on certain ideas. There will be something healing in this expression of yourself. Lastly, what I would say, and then I'll read to you the whole message for the moon card, because they are always beautifully written in the book. The last thing with the blue moon and the overall message of believe in the impossible. Again, because you got so much earth energy. I feel like there is a part of you that is struggling to believe in something or is afraid of believing in something. Like I said at the beginning, Pentacle energy always gives me the vibe of a healthy or unhealthy Capricorn, depending on the situation. And Capricorns can oftentimes be really negative. They like to say it is realism, but it's not, because your mind doesn't necessarily know what's realistic to happen. Yeah, you can have all of the statistics and whatnot, but something might surprise you nonetheless. And if you are not open to something surprising you, then you will not facilitate your environment in a way for something to come and surprise you, you know? So I feel like this is something that would be helpful for you to work as well, like generally on this lack mindset that you have. Like try to find a way, watch YouTube videos, I don't know, find a way to shift your thinking that more things are possible and open for you. Let me give you the whole message from the blue moon card. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests that you are about to get a rare chance and that something one-off could well be about to happen. This card is a very positive sign if you have felt like you're hoping for too much or asking too much of the universe. Whatever you're asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it's important that you believe in it. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. The attune to the moon message is short and sweet. It is, I am lucky. And some additional meanings for this card. Miss this chance and it might not come back anytime soon. What happened may only happen once. So again, I feel like this might be significant, especially with the Five of Pentacles. If something negative happened in the past, know that it might have only happened once. Like, don't let it stop you from future opportunities. Also, the person you are inquiring about is a rare find. If you can believe it, you can achieve it, and this situation is unlikely to repeat itself. Okay, pile 2, I feel like this is enough for you guys. I hope that this was helpful, and I wish you all the luck. Pile 3, welcome to your part of the reading. So if you chose the cherry card, and the card that came up underneath it is the new moon in Virgo card with a time to give rather than take, which led me to think, because we are in Virgo season, so the new moon in Virgo should either have happened already in like the last about 10 days, or maybe is happening sometime around now. I am not quite sure, but it might be somehow significant to you as a time period. Maybe on the new moon in Virgo will be the time when you embrace this new energy that needs to come into your life, or maybe it will be the day when you come to the realization that things need to change, or maybe it will be the day, let's say, where you start some kind of new routine. So anyway, I just thought that it was a funny coincidence. So in one sentence put, what your reading is speaking about is that in this Virgo season, what is coming up for you is taking some kind of step back in a couple of ways. Maybe on the one hand, from being a little bit too pushy or a little bit too leader, let's say, in the situation, like taking a step back from being an egoist in some way, and also like overall taking a step back in order to be able to rejuvenate your nerves, like your body, your mind. Like overall you need some kind of change. It seems that you might have gone over the speed limit up to this point, and now you need to take a step back. And if you have also been a little bit too demanding of people around you, in the way of them providing something to you, now it might be also the time where this needs to shift, because your main message of the pile with the new moon in Virgo is a time to give rather than take. And Virgo, on the one hand, speaking about giving and taking in relation to other people. But again, for you, I feel like this message will strongly also speak about you giving and taking from yourself. That's why I'm saying a part of it will be taking a step back and working with your body to get grounded, rejuvenated, relaxed, like you need some R&R pile 3. This is basically what I'm getting at. And the other oracle card that came up for you, the cherry card, also brings this message, that you need to take the time to soothe yourself a little bit. Like basically, the cherry, a part of like what is written even for the cherry, is that it is medicine that soothes the throat, it calms the nerves, it relieves the stress. And you know that Virgos can be really insane people, they can be really high strung, so maybe this is an issue you have been dealing with, and now it is time to take care of it proactively. Like it is time to nourish yourself, and this will recharge you with the energy to move forward. Basically, it is a period of rejuvenation for you in one way or another. And getting into the tarot cards specifically, the first card that came up for you was super fitting with your pile, because it is the Three of Pentacles energy. And the Three of Pentacles is all about some kind of team effort and collaboration. You can see how the three people on the card are working together on this project, on this, oh, I don't actually know what it's called in English, but it is, let's say sewing. Let's say they're sewing something. Okay, we will leave it at that. And the other card, the next card that came for you, is the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man has to do with some kind of perspective change. Also with finding comfort in an uncomfortable situation. So if you have, for instance, been used to being super in charge, to having everything done your way, like Virgos can be a bit bossy, you might be finding yourself in a situation right now where this shit doesn't fly anymore, and you need to learn to let go a little bit, and you need to find the comfort even in that situation where you don't have complete control. So there is this aspect of surrendering to something, not controlling something too tightly. And I feel like this is part of the message of a time to give rather than take, because taking is a very, maybe not coercive, but controlling action. And giving is the opposite. It is the letting go of that control. And this will be central for you as a next step in your life. We have the message again presented to us with the reversed Six of Wands, because the reversed Six of Wands can speak about you being a little bit of a negative expression of a Leo. Let's say you being a little bit egotistic, wanting everything to go your way, maybe potentially also wanting all of the recognition for yourself. Again, this next chapter will be some kind of team effort where it's not you being the head in charge and perfectionism and blah 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 bossy ass boots. Now, another potential with the Six of Wands being reversed is that whatever you are working on, it will turn out successful, yes, but the success here will be more a success for you. So you will not necessarily be the star of the show, sitting in front of the audience and getting all the cheers. There might be more of the feeling of a private achievement. So either achievement within a team, where the whole team receives the accolades, or you being in the background also when somebody else receiving the accolades, or just it could be speaking of this achievement on a personal and spiritual level, where, for instance, you learn to let go of the control and you learn to chill a little bit. It could be that type of achievement, you know. It's just something that is not super out there, something that is more personal, something that basically only you know about, and you are happy about it yourself, but you are not getting the cheers and the woohoos from the public. And sorry, with the Ace of Wands coming in the reversed position, this is again like overall giving me the energy that you are maybe also lacking patience, because this is again a fire card, and you know, fire signs can be really fast. They want things to happen really fast. They want to be on top of it all. And like we said repeatedly, for you, you are coming out of this season and you are working on building some patience. Like, patience might not be your strong suit, but this is the direction you need to move towards. So there might have been, or maybe there will be, certain delays. Maybe you also feel a certain lack of motivation on your side. Like, for instance, if you are normally a really go-getter person, you might be feeling a little bit weighed down right now and not knowing where exactly that's coming from. This is coming in your life in order to teach you to pull back a little bit. It doesn't mean that it will continue to be like this forever. This is just what you need right now. You need a break, and you need to make some kind of transition. And this is also the last card that came up for you, the Six of Swords on this side. The Six of Swords is exactly us going through some kind of change. And the depiction of the card, I don't know if it is super clearly on this type of tarot, but if you look at the normal tarot, it is the idea that behind the boat, it is like high waters and waves and a storm, which is basically the past and the thing that you are moving out of, and you are moving towards the calmer waters. Like you can't stay in the high waters, you can't stay in the eye of the storm. The whole oh, this song has been stuck in my head, the Wings of the Storm from Whitesnake. Maybe this is why it's coming to me. You can't stay in the storm all the time. Like you need to transition out of it. You need to move through that passage, even if it is scary, because afterwards you will be sailing smoothly and it will feel so much better. Like you might have been already gotten used to the stress and the waves and everything, but sooner or later too much stress will turn your boat over. That is why now you are being asked to take some time back, to step a little bit outside of your active period, and also to again recharge your body. I feel like this will be an extremely important message for you guys, because Virgo is like the self-care person. They are the queen of taking care of themselves, their diet, their hygiene, their home, the energy in their home. It doesn't matter. It is about taking care of yourself. Good. Then I'm gonna read to you the full message from the new moon in Virgo card, because the messages in this booklet are always so nicely written, and you might see a piece of information that's specifically helpful for you. So when this card comes up, it's time for you to take stock of your situation. Where are you and where do you want to go? The new moon energy of this card suggests a restart, and the Virgo energy suggests you make that restart a clever one that's simple and well organized. Virgo also has a strong health aspect to it, so if you have been feeling unwell, this card suggests that your health is on the up. Virgo loves clean eating and alternative therapies, so add these into your routines however you've been feeling. If a situation is blocked at the moment, it could be that you are overanalyzing things or being too critical. It is time to ask less what someone else can do for you and to think more about what you can do for others. The message of attunement with the moon is recommit to a healthy morning and evening routine. And some additional meanings for this card are: gradual improvements are coming. Pay attention to detail if you want success without being pedantic. Also, be of service to others, and love and money will follow. And the person you are asking about is reliable. Okay, oops, pile 3. This is the message for you. I hope that it was helpful, and I wish you a lovely Virgo season.